In the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks on America, many Muslims feel they've been unfairly tarred with the same brush as the extremists. Here in multicultural Australia, people from a range of ethnic backgrounds have joined forces to attempt to dispel such views. Two members of the Together for Humanity program are leading by example. Rabbi Zalman Kastel and Sheikh Haitham Farachi have become firm friends as they tour Australian schools, demonstrating that no one should be judged on the basis of appearance or religion. Tracy Bowden reports.
We've got two Muslim people here. We've got people that look different, wear different kinds of clothes. We've got an Aboriginal person. We're all different to each other, and some of us are different to some of you guys. Is there anything that you're curious about, something that...
The students at Bass High are as ethnically diverse as you could imagine. Their school lies smack bang in the middle of southwest Sydney, a cultural melting pot. Today they're taking part in a workshop on race and religion.
You know, you can ask any question you like and we're never going to find you rude. That's our rule.
What is with them hats?
Were you guys forced into your religion or did you do it on your own will?
The program is run by the non-profit group Together for Humanity. The organisation's national director is Rabbi Zalman Kastel.
In simple terms, we're trying to teach children to reject prejudice, to appreciate people who are different to themselves, and recognise that together we can do a lot that serves as common values.
Working closely with the rabbi in the school's program is Sheikh Haitham Farachi.
A lot of the schools that we go to, we ask the question, has anyone ever met a Muslim before? Has anyone ever met a Jew before? And the majority will say no.
This whole set of beliefs.
The rabbi and the sheikh are practicing what they preach. Two men you might expect to have little in common have become firm friends.
Said that people want to be seen as individuals.
And I have a lot of respect for Rabbi Zalman. I believe he's a man of God and I believe he's a sincere person. It's probably not the best to say it in front of him. Not good for his humility, but the question's been asked, so...
Sometimes the services will be led from here. So that's not the reading the scroll, this is the prayers. This is a verse from Psalms from King David.
The rabbi has invited the sheikh to take a look around his place of worship, Sydney's great synagogue. The pair's friendship belies vastly different upbringings and belief systems.
The holy days of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur.
Would you call it an unlikely friendship?
Yeah, I think I would never have imagined that I would be friends with a sheikh growing up where I did. It just wasn't something I could ever dream of, really.
Zalman Kastel grew up in an Orthodox Jewish neighbourhood in Brooklyn, New York.
I grew up on stories of religious leaders in Eastern Europe, Christian leaders, revving the peasants up to do pogroms and attack the Jewish people.
By contrast, Haitham Farachi describes himself as an Australian born and bred.
I consider myself just a typical Aussie bloke. I didn't grow up in an enclave of Muslims or Islam or anything like that.
Haitham Farachi spent his youth at Chatswood on Sydney's North Shore. He fitted right in after developing a passion for a very Australian pastime.
I grew up playing footy like everyone else and going to the beach and riding my bike around and naturally after falling in love with the ocean that I became a surfer.
The sheikh is keen to dispel stereotypes held by many in a time of global terrorism.
I'm an Australian, I'm a Muslim, and I think those two things go very well together. They go hand in hand, because contributing as a good citizen is part of my faith, and that's what I aim to do.
Ascombe in Sydney's affluent eastern suburbs is another of the schools taking part in the Tolerance program.
First of all, let's give a warm welcome to Sheikh Haitham, who's come all the way from Lakemba, I think.
Students are given the chance to meet children from different backgrounds.
Why do Muslims pray 5 times a day?
When I go off to pray, I find that it's good for me to recenter and refocus about what the most important things are in life and prioritise myself as well.
Haitham Farachi admits that at times he's found his role in the program challenging.
And I think the thing that made it most difficult for me personally was the actual conflict that's going on in Israel and Palestine. I mean, that's a big issue worldwide, and personally I feel connected to that issue.
When you hear about the latest conflict and bloodshed overseas, how do you reconcile that with your friendship?
I think that the conflict overseas makes the friendships I have with Sheikh Haytham or with some Palestinian people of Palestinian heritage who live in Australia and have worked in the program. It makes those relationships even more important. I feel that in some small way there's a little dot of light.
So all the writing you see, this is from the Quran. We consider this the most powerful verse in the Quran.
So what does it actually say?
Kursi. It's about God. He's the one, He's the only.
Today, Sheikh Haytham is the tour guide, showing the rabbi around the Lakemba Mosque in Sydney's southwest.
And on Friday, this is where the Imam will go and make the sermon.
I think the kids can sense that we actually know each other well and respect each other and like each other. And I think for the kids, in some ways, that's the most powerful thing we can say is just by being there.
You might be curious about how we get along and how we deal with our differences, because we have different points of view and different ideas about how things should be done.
How do you measure if the program in the schools is working?
We are gathering some data and looking at before and after attitudes immediately as well as further down the track, and we've seen very substantial improvements in the percentage of students that will make negative assumptions going down and the number of positive assumptions going up.
That's probably from a bit deeper, so let's blow some tolerance in.
So far, more than 50,000 Australian students have taken part in the Together for Humanity program. The team has developed an online teaching resource and hopes to eventually reach all states and territories.
I think it's important because I think it's like trying to share awareness of what we should be doing, as like we are going to be the future generation. Maybe we actually might have a say and we might change something in the world today.
Just exercise some curiosity with regards to the people who are different so that we don't make those kinds of assumptions and that we see each other as brothers and sisters. So thanks very much for having us.